The most dangerous energy drinks. Ever made you think you're just grabbing something to stay awake during a long night or early morning? But some of these energy drinks didn't just give people a boost. They sent them to hospitals, caused heart problems, and in some cases, even led to deaths. Today we're going through the most dangerous energy drinks ever made, the ones that went way too far. First one is Four Loko. This one basically invented the phrase blackout in a can. When it launched in the mid-2000s, it was a tall can that mixed malt liquor with caffeine, taurine, and guarana. One can had the alcohol content of 5 beers, plus the caffeine kick of a couple of coffees. College kids were drinking it like soda at parties. Hospitals started seeing a wave of alcohol poisoning cases, fights, and blackouts. By 2010, several states banned the original version completely. The company had to remove all the caffeine just to keep selling it. Even after that, Four Loko became the warning story for why you should never mix alcohol and energy drinks. Second one, 5 Hour Energy. It looks small and harmless, just a tiny 2-ounce bottle, but inside it packs around 230 milligrams of caffeine along with other stimulants. Between 2009 and 2012, the FDA got reports of at least 13 deaths linked to this drink. Some of those cases involved people who already had heart issues, but others were young and healthy. The problem was that the small size made it too easy to drink 2 or 3 bottles without realizing how much caffeine you were actually taking. The company always said it was safe when used correctly, but those death reports still follow the brand even today. Third one, Monster Energy. Monster became one of the biggest names in the game, but it also got hit with a lot of serious lawsuits. Their big cans have about 160 milligrams of caffeine plus ginseng and guarana. Over the years, multiple families sued the company after young people suffered heart attacks or other serious problems, especially when they mixed it with alcohol. One of the most publicized cases was a 14-year-old girl who died in 2013 after drinking 2 large monsters in one day. The company fought the cases and said their product was safe, but the damage to their reputation was already done. Even now, you'll see warnings on some monster cans telling people not to mix it with alcohol. Fourth one, cocaine energy drink. Yes, there was actually a drink literally called cocaine. It came out in the mid-2000s with extremely high caffeine levels and other strong stimulants. The marketing was deliberately over the top and controversial, playing off the drug name. Health groups and regulators went after it hard. Eventually, the FDA forced the company to change the name and tone down the formula because it was considered too dangerous. The drink still exists in some form under different names, but the original version became a perfect example of how far some brands were willing to push the edge just to get attention. Fifth is Redline Energy. Redline took things to another level with their concentrated energy shots. Some versions had over 300 milligrams of caffeine in a very small serving, plus other strong stimulants. People started ending up in emergency rooms with racing hearts, vomiting, and in some cases, more serious reactions. These weren't even always sold as regular energy drinks. A lot of them were marketed as pre-workout or focus products, but they were sitting right next to normal drinks in gas stations. The extreme stimulant load made them risky, especially for anyone who didn't know what they were actually consuming. Sixth one is Jolt Cola. Jolt Cola was one of the original extreme caffeine drinks back in the 1980s and 90s. It proudly advertised that it had all the sugar and twice the caffeine of regular cola. At the time, it felt fun and rebellious, but it basically started the trend of making drinks as strong as possible. While it didn't cause the same wave of hospitalizations as later products, it normalized the idea of drinking massive amounts of caffeine just to stay awake. A lot of the dangerous drinks that came later basically followed the same stronger is better philosophy that Jolt helped create. Seventh one, ephedra-based energy drinks. Before 2004, a lot of energy and weight loss products contained ephedra, also known as mahuang. This stimulant was extremely powerful and was linked to heart attacks, strokes, and several deaths. The FDA finally banned ephedra in dietary supplements after years of problems. But before the ban, there were plenty of energy drinks and thermogenic formulas that included it without clear warnings. People were taking these thinking they were just getting an energy boost, not realizing they were consuming something that could seriously damage their heart. Eighth is Bang Energy. Bang became popular with its high caffeine content and marketing aimed at fitness people and gamers. Some versions had 300 milligrams or more of caffeine per can, plus other ingredients like super creatine. The brand faced multiple lawsuits and regulatory scrutiny over its claims and the actual effects on people's bodies. While not every can caused problems, the combination of very high stimulants and aggressive marketing to younger audiences put it in the same conversation as the riskier drinks on this list. It showed that even modern brands were still willing to push the limits. Ninth one is Venom Energy Drink. Venom was another one that flew under the radar but had some serious issues. It contained high levels of caffeine along with other stimulants and was marketed heavily in convenience stores. There were reports of people experiencing heart palpitations and other side effects, especially when they drank more than one can. Like several others on this list, it didn't always carry clear enough warnings about how strong it actually was. It became another example of how easy it was to overdo it with these heavily caffeinated products. And now final one is NOS Energy Drink. NOS started as a motorsport-themed drink and quickly gained popularity with its high caffeine and big cans. It contained around 160 milligrams of caffeine plus taurine and other ingredients. While it didn't have the same level of lawsuits as Monster, it still contributed to the overall culture of treating energy drinks like they were harmless. The problem with NOS and similar drinks was that people would drink them throughout the day or mix them with alcohol at parties without realizing the total stimulant load they were putting on their bodies. So there you have it. 10 energy drinks that crossed the line from helpful to harmful. Some got banned, some got sued, and some are still on shelves with stronger warnings now. The crazy part is how fast this whole industry grew with very little regulation in the beginning. Companies were competing to make the strongest product possible, and regular people paid the price when things went wrong. Most energy drinks are fine in moderation, but the ones we talked about today, they were never really about just giving you energy. They were about pushing limits, and sometimes those limits pushed back. Next time you pick one up, just take a second to check what's actually inside it, because not every can is as harmless as it looks. Which of these energy drink do you think is the most worst to drink? Let us in the comments what you think. And while you're here, just subscribe this channel for more interesting video like this. And thanks for watching. See you there.